What is your take on user behavior analytics, UBA as the industry calls it? How important has it become, and is it gaining a lot of traction after the lockdown?
Yeah, because as I mentioned earlier, a lot of non-IT people also started working from home.
Right.
At the same time, your entire staff working from home. So you need to make sure that user behavior is tracked, whether not only whether it's in and out time, but for many other aspects. Your data, because he can have access from anywhere, right? From his sitting at his home. And especially sales data or financial critical data, if a listed company need to make sure. But at the same time, behavior analytics and behavior training. So behavior training is also important, not
The
only
awareness
analytics.
and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. So
True.
how to behave when they are working from home.
Right.
They should not use connect without VPN.
Right.
Because many companies I have seen their sites are accessible without VPN.
Okay.
Now somebody asked me a question whether VPN is secured. So VPN is also not secured.
True.
But at the same time, there's some security, right? You keep your, like in your society apartment, you keep there's one security guard.
Right.
Similarly, that is there. So need to make sure that,
Right.
That is something important.
True. Now, UBA and privilege access management is something that goes hand in hand, right? How critical is it for organizations to employ privilege access management solutions, especially in these days now?
Yeah, it's very, very important, privilege access, because you need to make sure that your critical data is not, deleted or changed.
Right.
On, maybe intentionally or unintentionally, both options possible, right?
True.
So for that, it's very important.
Privilege access management. Is it gaining a lot of traction?
Now it's getting traction. Only thing is, sometime what happens is people are not very comfortable with change management. Right. And so change management is important here. And at the same time, all these, in some patch, that should be efficient. If that logic is efficient, because what happens is many companies, they are still with 2 GB memory, and so their equipment needs to be advanced.
Hand in hand.
So that otherwise, it will become very difficult. You're using, some people are still using XP and you expect, so that will not work. So you need to make sure your infrastructure is also upgraded and you have skilled resources, and you include this, then that will help.
True. So earlier on you mentioned that training on all these are also important, because I do know to a certain degree that organizations get these trainings done under the compliance umbrella, but is there enough stress being laid on creating awareness of at least some basic cybersecurity protocols? Do you think the industry is doing that?
Yeah,
or
so now awareness is there.
Okay.
But sometimes budget and so
those are constraints.
But now people are realizing that top management, audit committee, your board members, independent directors, everybody knows now cybersecurity is must. So there are budgets available now. All CIOs, CISOs, they are getting budgets, and you need skilled resources also. That is again a challenge, because whenever there's a ISO 27K or so, that time you find a lot of trainings.
True.
Kind of documentation, but suddenly once you get certificate, everything goes on for a toss for next 1 year. For the next audit, again you start doing. So it's a continuous process. You should not lose that momentum.
In fact, that's a very important point you mentioned. Do you think the industry has the right manpower to tackle all these issues or cybersecurity?
Very, very good question. Unfortunately, we do not have best resources at this point. It's every industry is struggling for best resources.
True. And IT has suddenly taken up a major role.
Yeah.
For each and every kind of business.
And that kind of, I don't know whether that cream is not there, but we need to make sure that good resources are in house, and if not, then all IITs and all, they're doing amazing work. So they are working on this. Even when I was in government, we signed MOUs with 2-3 IITs, with Kanpur IIT, Chennai IIT. There's one big project which is now undergoing with IIT Chennai. I was instrumental in signing MOU with Mumbai IIT, but my tenure got over. I came back to corporate, so I assume that will get again completed in next 1 or 2 months. I'm helping them today also. finding, kind of completing those MOUs with IITs.
True.
So that will help actually because they will get funds. These are all
Right.
good talents of India. They will get funds to do some more research.
True.
And industry also will benefit. So
Absolutely.
it's a win-win situation for both.
Absolutely. Now, there's another thing happening currently is a lot of talent which is there. They're taking multiple offers from various organizations. So a person who was on a 10-15 lakh CTC, after around 5 or 7 interviews, is suddenly at a 75 lakh CTC. What do you think will happen to in this scenario to people?
It's a good in short term for employees, but not good for in long term for both.
Right.
Because this will not continue for long.
True.
And
eventually the dust will settle.
Yeah, dust will settle, and then everybody will have a challenge, right?
Right.
To know how to
justify.
If consulting firm, if they pay more, like 3 times more to employee, and then how they will charge customers. So if I'm a customer and I hire one consulting firm, today I'm paying X, tomorrow they will say I want X multiplied by 3. I said no. If I say yes, then that will continue. If I say no, in the sense like those who are hiring, then it becomes difficult. I think instead of just raising salary, I think trainings are important. Certifications are important. You raise your, and what is happening is, suppose if somebody is, got offer, he goes to, and then nowadays I think 2 months minimum notice period is there, 3 months notice period. Then some company comes, then he said, I have an offer, but I can join in 1 week. Immediately offered is doubled because it's like a ready possession home.
True.
But long run, I don't think this is a good for industry. We should make sure that, quality is important.
Right.
I have seen many people got offered 2 or 3 times, but the basic quality is not there. I don't know how they are going to,
so
justify that.
Yeah, exactly. It will not be sustained.
Yeah,
at some point of time, you are going to face the brunt of that. Interesting. So, single sign-on platform is also again, which is gaining a lot of traction. What do you see as a reason behind this?
So, single sign-on is required by top management.
Right.
When they are approve anything, they don't want to log in. So I have seen many board members, MDs, executive directors, they always prefer SSO. And there was a long back, in the like 20 years back, somebody asked me, one of my MD, I don't want to log in with ID and password every system. Give me something, I connect that
and I get access
to
everything.
So this is happening now, and it's very difficult. Information is bombarded. Everybody is, with multiple accounts, this and that.
Right.
Single sign-on will improve, and that's the best way to, kind of manage your systems.
Right. So, like you mentioned earlier, it was for MDs, EDs, and all of that. Do you think it has come down the hierarchy for everybody else?
For everybody, because now you need all your ERP, your some kind of attendance system, or many IIT platforms. So it's always better to have one single sign-on, not multiple sign-ons.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much again, Sudhir, for sharing about privileged access management, and I think it's going to grow. The industry is only bound to grow. So thank you so much for sharing about that.